What up? It's your boy Wall Street, and I'm back. Thank you all for tuning in today. Very grateful for each and every one of you, and I hope you're out there practicing gratitude, practicing mindfulness, and getting all that positivity into your life, because that's what we gotta be doing. And I'm here to promote more today. So today, what I want to talk about is the importance of spending time in nature. Right. And this is really important. And this one hits home for me because I grew up in Connecticut, and I used to tell people, because I went to school in California. So I used to tell people because people in California apparently didn't know what Connecticut was for some reason. Everyone I told, they're like, what's that? I was like, okay. All right. So this is how I would break it down to people out there. Whereas I would just tell them that I basically grew up in the forest. Right? The part of Connecticut that I grew up in was very lush, so many trees. The fall is beautiful. The summer is beautiful. Even the winter is beautiful, but I'm a guy that likes to be outside. So being outside in the cold is not always ideal, right? So the fall and the summer were always just awesome, right? But I love spending time in nature, and now that I live in New York, it is not a very nature-filled place, right? People talk about Central Park, and you have some parks in Brooklyn, you got parks on the west side, the east side, downtown, uptown, whatever, right? But to me, that's not really super nature-esque, right? I'm thinking of a national park, right, where you just have miles of nature, right? That's the type of stuff that I really love, right? But the reason I'm bringing this up today is it's extremely important to spend time in nature, right? Nature has this unique ability to help us just slow down and feel connected to the world, right? I think it's just when you're in nature, there's so many different beautiful things to look at, the people walking by you, the birds chirping, the water, if you're by a waterfall or a lake or an ocean, so whether you're taking a walk in the park, you're taking a hike, or just sitting outside for a few minutes, nature can really help you calm your mind, especially if your mind is feeling really busy and packed, right? So nature is going to also reduce stress and just calm your mind, like I said, right? So it has this calming effect on your nervous system. Even research says that spending time outdoors, especially in green spaces, lush green spaces, can lower your cortisol levels, which cortisol is your stress hormone, and it can reduce your blood pressure. The sights, the sounds, the smells of nature can help trigger the parasympathetic, hope I'm saying that right, nervous system, which is also noted as the rest and digest system, which helps you relax and unwind. So get outside, right? Just get outside, go do some stuff, right? For me, also, I don't know about you guys, but when I make music, right? If I'm making a beat or something, or I'm just locked in the FL studio and I'm just doing my thing, right? I love making beats in different places, right? If I've never been to that place before, I'm gonna bust out my laptop and start making beats, because music specifically has so much to do, well, I shouldn't even say music, art specifically has so much to do with your environment, right? Because your environment has a big piece of, deciding how you're gonna perceive the world and perceive that moment in time. So when I make music in a different setting, it really allows me to create stuff that I wouldn't have created just, sitting in my apartment, or sitting on a bus or a train. There's a lot of different stuff. So if you're sitting outside and you see birds chirping and the sunrise and stuff, you're gonna create a much different product if you're an artist than you would normally being in a different environment. So I think that's a big key to remember, especially if you make beats or you make art, you draw, you paint, whatever. Think about that, because it really does make a huge difference. So nature is just going to overall just boost your creativity, and just go outside with no goal in mind, right? Just let your thoughts wander, focus on the nature and the natural environment around you. This is great for, thinking about new solutions to solve problems, just brainstorming, or just getting a new perspective, right? All those things. And again, getting outside is going to help your health, right? Getting outside and running around, walking, playing spike ball or basketball or tennis with somebody, it's going to like boost everything. It's going to boost your health, your confidence, your mental health, so many different things. And I think the thing that I kind of mentioned before that I think is really important is your connection to the world, right? Like feeling like you're a part of the world is super important. And it can feel really tough to do that when you're like sitting at home all day, or you're sitting in an office all day, or you're sitting at school all day. Like if you get outside and just like breathe in fresh air, look at like the trees just like blowing in the wind, see water moving, it just makes you feel way more human, way more part of the earth. And that's super important. It's like incredibly important, right? So try to spend a little bit of time outside every single day. It's gonna help you. It also helps you sleep better, right? Like this is another thing that's been like proven in research, is that when you go outside, especially like in the morning, the exposure to natural light helps regulate your circadian rhythm, making it a lot easier to fall asleep at nighttime. And that time spent in nature also helps reduce the overstimulation that often comes from artificial lights and screens, like on your computer, because all that stuff interferes with your sleep patterns too. So spend some time outside during daylight, right? You can spend time outside at night as well, but I recommend going out in daylight, even if it's just a short walk around the block or, what have you, but just like make it a habit. Make it a habit to get outside first thing in the morning, like 15, 20 minutes, or go eat your lunch outside. Like just do something, right? You got to do something where you're getting outside and you can just take nature in. I'm telling you, you're going to feel the positive effects of it. Even if it's cold outside, if you live somewhere where it's cold, get outside in the morning, just be outside for about 10, 15 minutes. It just like, it jumpstarts your day. It's better than a cup of coffee. Better than any of that stuff. There's nothing like getting outside and being in nature, right? Like I said, if you live somewhere like New York or a big city where there's not a lot of nature, there's still ways to find it. You can go to Central Park. You can go over to, the West Side Highway in New York and go look at the water in the Hudson River. There's a lot of stuff, but I understand too. Like a big thing for me is like, I'm probably going to move out of New York eventually because I like to be in nature. I like to take hikes. I like to go explore in the mountains. I like to go to the beach. I like to do a lot of stuff that, New York doesn't necessarily have, or at least it's not super accessible to someone living in Manhattan or Brooklyn or, Queens. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But some other ways that you can incorporate, nature in your life, even if you can't do it every day, is like maybe go plan a weekend trip, to a nature spot or a park, like, a hiking trail, a beach. You could also garden at your home if you have space for that. Gardening is an awesome thing to do. It's another thing that I wish I could do, but I live in New York, so it's a little tough because I do not have garden space. But, like gardening really does a lot for your brain as well. Like just like cultivating something and seeing it grow and like feeling that feeling of success that you like successfully grew like a tomato or an avocado or an onion. Like that's like, I'm telling you guys, like you're like, if you've never done that before, like that's a feeling that you want to have. Like it is awesome. And then being able to like use it when you cook something, top notch, like 11 out of 10 feeling for sure. So if you're ever been thinking about that, start doing it. Cause I'm telling you, you're going to feel that's a rewarding process. But yeah, there's plenty of ways you can get out and get into nature. You just got to think about it. But don't think about it too hard. Just, be decisive and go spend some time outside a little bit each and every day. And I'm telling you, if you feel upset, depressed, what have you, you're going to feel a lot better. A big suggestion that I've always given people that I used to get growing up was like, if you're mad or you're frustrated, like just get up and like set a timer and go take a walk for like 20 or 25 minutes. Don't go for less than that. Take 20, 25 minutes, go for a walk and just don't think about anything. And I'm telling you, like you're going to calm down. You're going to feel great. You're going to feel great. And you're not going to take out your anger immediately in that moment, right? If something's really frustrating you, the best thing you can do is like get up, go take a walk and come back and deal with the problem with a fresher mind, fresh set of eyes. And I'm telling you, you're going to handle problems a lot better. So that's all I got, guys. If you have any other suggestions on ways to, get into nature and spend some time outside, and other methods of how it can help you in your daily life, please leave some comments down below. I'm sure people watching this video would love to hear other people's take and advice. So I'm gonna catch you guys later, though. Hope this video helped, and stay safe, stay up, stay blessed, stay humble. I love you all. Handle business, stand on business. Peace out.